Hi, Amy. You going to join us? You going to sing with us? One. It's gonna rain. It's gonna rain. You better get ready and bear this in mind. God showed Noah, showed him the rainbow sign. There won't be water, gonna be fire the next time. It's gonna rain, it's gonna rain. You better get ready and bear this in mind. God showed Noah, showed him the rainbow sign. It won't be water, gonna be fire the next time. One more time. Is that is it? We good? It's gonna rain.
Yeah. So what happens with the song is we'll do the chorus twice at the beginning, and then we alternate these sing the verse, we sing the chorus. We sing this twice, and then we're going to sing verses. Now, don't sing. And then we sing the chorus and the verse. Okay, good. Okay. You're up here. Good? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, there's a bass line.
We're going to sing We're Not Afraid.
I'm trying to sing the tenor line. I don't know if that was very well.
I was making up the bass line.
Okay.
Maybe you guys are
Because we only have 4 voices. So then I would like her car.
Oh, it's going to rain? Don't worry.
Well, I was telling John might try to sing my part.
Yeah, it's all good. So, let's watch it. So we're going to do Beyond Not Afraid.
You want us down here? Where do you want us? Stay up here.
Good morning, everyone. We're going to do a quick hymn sing today based on a songbook that was created recently in Minnesota called the Singing Resistance Songbook. And the words to all these songs are in like the 3rd page of your order of service. There's a little box. They're all very short songs. They're meant to be sung while marching, and we thought we'd do this in solidarity with them. So the first one is called "We Are Not Afraid," which is very short. We'll sing each one through 4 or 5 times, and we can harmonize if you get the hang of it. And here we go. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We will live for liberation, 'cause we know why we were made. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We will live for liberation. going to give this one called Someone's Hurting My Brother. And Don's going to do the lead on this, and I think the words that are in bold are the only words. So it's like a call and response. So Don's going to sing, somebody's hurting my brother, and it's gone on far too long. See what's written there? It's gone on far too long, and it's gone on far too long. Somebody's hurting my brother, and it's gone on far too long. And we all sing together, and we won't be silent anymore. And then he's gonna switch out the words, my sister, my neighbor, and our children.
Oh, somebody's hurting my brother, and it's gone far too long. Yes, it's gone far too long. Yes, and it's gone far too long. Oh, somebody's hurting my brother, and it's gone far too long. And we won't be silent anymore. Oh, somebody's hurting my sister, and it's gone far too long. Yes, it's gone far too long. Yes, and it's gone far too long. Oh, somebody's hurting my sister, and it's gone far too long. And we won't be silent anymore. Oh, somebody's hurting my neighbor, and it's gone far too long. Yes, it's gone far too long. Yes, and it's gone far too long. Oh, somebody's hurting my neighbor, and it's gone far too long. And we won't be silent anymore. Oh, somebody's hurting our children, and it's gone far too long. Yes, it's gone far too long. Yes, and it's gone far too long. Oh, somebody's hurting our children, and it's gone far too long. And we won't be silent anymore.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
Good morning. I'm here to talk today about annual pledge drive. When Larry, my husband, and I first visited the community church of Chapel Hill nearly 20 years ago, Glenn and the house band played the song "What are you doing for the rest of your life?" I thought, how novel to hear and refreshing to hear a 70s ballad here at church. While I was uplifted by the music that was playing in the sanctuary, Larry looked around the room and realized he could wear shorts to church. This is how we both knew we were in the right place. During pledge season, it's important to understand how our contributions fortify an organization like the community church. Ensuring staff are offered fair wages and great benefits, maintaining our campus and the surrounding grounds, budgeting funds for religious education, and funding ministerial operations. Over the years, we've given as generously as we could manage and increased our annual pledges in concert with our incomes. I believe in this church and everything that it stands for, from seeing our 2 children thrive in RE to the sense of purpose that I felt serving on committees and on the church board. I couldn't have imagined how telling it would be to hear, "What are you doing for the rest of your life?" at my first service, because it seems pretty apparent that I'll be attending this church for the rest of my life. I hope you'll join us and give generously this pledge season.
Okay, now please stand in body or spirit for our opening hymn, page 1040 in the teal hymnal, Woyaya.
1020.
1020. What? There's something.
We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know within, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. It will be hard, we know, and the road will be muddy and full, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Heaven knows where we are going, but we know we will. We will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will.
James Baldwin once wrote, "The children are always ours, every single one of them, all over the globe." At church, we often discover that what is ours, our responsibility, our concern, is much more expansive than we could have realized on our own. We join in worship not only to give thanks, not only to leave offerings of our love at the altar of the holy, but also that we ourselves will be changed. When we join in worship, we open ourselves up to the great joy and unavoidable discomfort of growth and self-discovery. May we in this hour remember that we are never done, never finished learning, and that there is always room for more love and greater care. Come, let us worship together. You will find the words for our chalice lighting in your order of service. If you wish to do so, please join me in reading them. History, despite its wrenching pain, cannot be unlived, but if faced with courage, need not be lived again. Lift up your eyes upon the day breaking for you. Give birth again to the dream.
It's gonna rain, it's gonna rain. You better get ready and bear this in mind. God showed Noah, show him the rainbow sign. Said it won't be water, gonna be fire the next time. Oh, it's gonna rain, it's gonna rain. You better get ready and bear this in mind. Show him the rainbow sign. Won't be water, gonna be fine the next time. Way back in those Bible days, Noah told the people it's gonna rain. When he told them, he paid them no mind. When it happened, I'd say they were left behind. And now it's gonna rain, it's gonna rain. Oh, you better get ready and bear this in mind. God showed him the rainbow sign. It won't be water, gonna be fire the next time. Noah told the people in plenty of time, but they were too sinful and they were too blind. It's gonna rain, oh, you better get ready and bear this in mind. God showed Noah, show him the rainbow sign. It won't be water, gonna be fire the next time. Noah told the people, I'm sorry, my friend, 'cause God's got the key and you can't get in. Something don't change in the hearts of men, the same thing is gonna happen again. Last time, it's gonna rain, it's gonna rain. Oh, you better get ready and bear this in mind. God showed Noah, showed him the rainbow sign. It won't be water, gonna be fire the next time.
Always fun. At this time, we are going to honor those who within the past several months have made the decision to become members of this church community. Each of the persons whose names Rachel is about to call meet the requirements for membership in our church. So new members, as Rachel calls your name, we ask you to please join us here at the front of the sanctuary. And as I joked in the first service, try to resist the temptation to sing into the microphones.
I'm going to read the names of the friends who have recently decided to become official members of our congregation. Some were recognized in the earlier service, some weren't able to join us today, and it is an optional activity, so the welcome stays the same. Nancy Ballantyne, David Belt, Kim Newstrom, Mark Underwood, Barbara Scott, Samir Kilata, Anna Brunn, Heather Paddock, Dave Boyles, Mike Brown, Kevell Wilson, Andy Furr, Candace Winkler, Stephen Winkler.
Morning. On behalf of the Welcome Ministry, it's a joy to welcome you into this community of memory and hope. Each time we welcome a new member, we become something new. So we ask you, as our newest members, will you promise to walk together with us, sharing the joys and responsibilities of membership? If so, please say we will. We will. Members of the Community Church of Chapel Hill, Unitarian Universalist, will you welcome these people into our congregation? Will you reach out to them in friendship, including them in our activities and our fellowship? Will you be open to their unique gifts and perspectives? Will you extend a warm welcome to each of them, remembering that each of us was once a new member? If so, please say we will. We will.
Becoming a member of this church is an important first step, but it's only a first step. We invite you new members to grow in your faith as you find and share your special gifts with us. Ours is a shared ministry, and each of us has a crucial role to play. We need you. We need your ideas. We need your energy. As you give generously of yourselves, we all become richer.
And now's the part where we get to share gifts. So what's going to happen is that Rachel's going to make her way down the line, offering you a chalice pin, and then Kristen and I will follow without gifts, but giving you a warm, welcoming handshake.
Freely have we received gifts that minister to our needs of body and spirit. Gladly we bring to our church and its wide concerns a portion of this bounty. If you wish to donate online, there is a QR code on the back of the order of service, and there is information on the church's website. We now receive the morning offering.
Are we ready for a little call and response? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, there must be something wrong with the microphone. Are we ready for a little call and response? Yes. It's a mighty long way. It's a mighty long way. Okay. It's a mighty long way. It's a mighty long way. From over yonder. From over yonder. It's a mighty long way. From there to here. And you can just do oohs here. We're gonna take it, oh yes, one step at a time, 'cause we can make that walk from there to here. And of course, if you know the song, feel free to sing along with the whole thing. Okay, here we go. 1, 2. It's a mighty long way from over yonder. It's a mighty long way from there to here. We're gonna take it, ooh, one step at a time, so we can make that walk from there to here. What can a man see outside his window? It's a whole lifetime from there to here. And all those people who gave their sweat and their blood so she could make that walk from there to here. It's a mighty long way from over yonder. It's a mighty long way from there to here. We're gonna make it one step at a time, so we can make that walk from there to here. Now every child born is a revolution, a revolution with the song inside. Some won't hear it, oh, some hear nothing else, and they'll work night and day just to keep that song alive. When you got a dream, you got to stand up and shout it loud and clear. What's that I'm hearing? It's the voice of the people singing that we will make that walk from there to here. Last time, a little louder. It's a mighty long way. It's a mighty long way. From over yonder. From over yonder. It's a mighty long way. It's a mighty long way. From there to here. From there to here. We're gonna take it, ooh, one step at a time, so we can make that walk from there to here. Thank you.
Each week, we hold a time in our service for sharing the joys and the sorrows that we bring with us into this community. It's during this time, if you've come with either a significant personal joy or a significant sorrow, that you're invited to come forward, place a stone in the bowl, speak your name, and share your joy or your sorrow. Let us enter into this time of tenderness and trust. I see Susan and Mark.
Hi, my name is Susan Heyman, and today I want to mark the passing of a truly extraordinary man. His name was Del Heyman, and he was my brother-in-law, but he was bigger than that. He was my brother, and he took care of me for decades as I took care of him when his wife was dying, and he took care of me when my husband Paul was dying, and we took care of each other in the years beyond that until yesterday when he passed away. And I just want to say that there is no man that I have ever known that had lived his life with more honor or more integrity than Del Heyman. He was a wonderful guy.
Hi, my name is Esther, and this is my mom, Rachel. Recently, we have received the news that a very close friend of ours, Thomas, has passed. He has been suffering from stage 4 cancer, and we're just glad he's not suffering anymore.
I'm Michael and my wife Bertie, and we've had a very rough few months. I started dialysis. I've had 2 hospitalizations, and I had a full leg cast, but I couldn't bend my knee for 8 weeks, so I couldn't get out at all for the last few months. Couldn't sit in the car, but here we are today.
I'm Bertie, and I just want to tell you I'm moved deeply by the grace of being here with all of you, and I've looked forward to this day for many, many weeks, so thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Amy Griswold, and my mother has been in and out of the hospital for several weeks, and we just learned last night that she's being placed on hospice care. They think she has less than 6 months to live, so I hope you'll keep her and my father in your thoughts.
A final stone is placed for the joys and the sorrows that we hold in our hearts that were not spoken this morning. I invite you to join with me in a time of meditation and prayer. Spirit of life, source of our being and our becoming, connect us with the cycles of life, of being born, of childhood, of adolescence, of adulthood and eldering, and with the reality of death, part of that circle, that cycle of life. Remind us this day to care for each other, to comfort those who are grieving, to recognize those who are alone, to not turn away from suffering, or give oppression a pass. May we recognize within our own tenderness, our own vulnerability, our own mortality, that we are each more deeply connected to each other than we might imagine, that we share one human family, one precious earth, one great gift of life. Amidst the joys and the sorrows, the prayers and the longings of this community, let us hold a few moments of silence together. I invite you to be still with me. Amen. Blessed be.
so hard to understand. So cold is the divide, where kindness ruled the land, anger beside. Heard they killed another man, all because he took a side. Just a cell phone in his hand, fear in his eyes. Minnesota. Starlight gathered on the lake, so far away from home, looking north as if to say, you're not alone. Minnesota. Turning towards a bitter wind, friends are reaching out for you. Light will find its way again, love will break through. Minnesota.
For the reading this morning, we would like to share two excerpts from essays by James Baldwin. The first comes from his book, The Fire Next Time, published in 1963. Life is tragic simply because the earth turns and the sun inexorably rises and sets. And one day, for each of us, the sun will go down for the last time. Perhaps the root of our trouble, the human trouble, is that we will sacrifice all the beauty of our lives. We'll imprison ourselves in totems, taboos, crosses, blood sacrifices, steeples, mosques, races, armies, flags, nations, in order to deny the fact of death, the only fact we have. It seems to me that one ought to rejoice in the fact of death, ought to decide indeed to earn one's death by confronting with passion the conundrum of life. One is responsible for life. It is the small beacon in that terrifying darkness from which we come and to which we shall return. The second reading comes from Baldwin's essay, Nothing Personal, published in 1964. For nothing is fixed. Forever, 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 it is not fixed. The earth is always shifting. The light is always changing. The sea does not cease to grind down rock. Generations do not cease to be born, and we are responsible to them because we are the only witnesses they have. The sea rises, the light fails, lovers cling to each other, and children cling to us. The moment we cease to hold each other, the moment we break faith with one another, the sea engulfs us and the light goes out.
Love takes off the masks that we fear we cannot live without and know we cannot live within. In honor of Black History Month and observance of Black History Month, I wanted to talk to you this morning and share with you one of my favorite writers. James Baldwin was a novelist, essayist, and public intellectual. He was a gay man, an atheist and humanist, and a Black man whose writings on the racialized psyche remain as profound today as when he first wrote them. What Baldwin has to say about the racialized psyche is very, very hard, but also offers a pathway to liberation if we would listen. In 1963, 63 years ago, Baldwin published a short volume called The Fire Next Time. The Fire Next Time consisted of 2 essays. The first essay was very short, 8 pages, and was written in the form of a letter to his teenage nephew on the occasion of the 100th anniversary of the Emancipation Proclamation. In this letter, Baldwin counsels his nephew on how to live in a racist society, how to assert his own humanity in the face of dehumanization. The second essay in the collection is 10 times as long, and in it Baldwin begins by writing about religion. He writes about his decision to leave the Christian church as a teenager. Then next, he writes about meetings, conversations he had with Prophet Elijah Muhammad, the leader of the Nation of Islam, and about Elijah Muhammad's failed attempts to get him to convert to Islam. Having rejected the Christianity of his childhood and having rejected attempts to get him to join the Nation of Islam, Baldwin concludes his essay by offering a humanistic vision of life. Several years ago, a movie was made about James Baldwin. The movie was called I Am Not Your Negro. And the movie interspersed videos of Baldwin speaking with images from the 60s and the Civil Rights Movement, as well as contemporary images of the Black Lives Matter movement. When people reviewed that movie, when people read Baldwin today, it's common to hear him called relevant, even timely, which is incredibly tragic. He was maybe timely in 63, and to call him timely now is to show that maybe the work that he proposed still remains to be done. In fact, he said in The Fire Next Time, there was this, that we can get it right or it's gonna continue to hurt. And it feels like we're in the fire now. Baldwin counseled his teenage nephew on how to live amidst racist dehumanization, and there's no denying that that same racist dehumanization is still very much alive in our world. The dehumanization is posted in deranged posts on social media from the White House in the darkest hours of the night. It's pushed in every segment of policy, from healthcare to education, to the courts, to voting rights. We see immigrants dehumanized, black and brown people dehumanized, trans people dehumanized, women dehumanized, girls and boys and children dehumanized. When I am troubled, and I'm often troubled, James Baldwin is one of the authors I turn to. I turn to him not because his message is easy, but because I feel it is true. And to understand his message, there is some history that we need to know. The history of the invention of race. According to historian Ibram X. Kendi, race is not some ancient category, neither is it immutable truth. Rather, it is a modern invention and a social construct. According to Kendi, categories of race were invented in the 1600s in Virginia, in the American South, as a way of breaking solidarity between those in the laboring class. As Kendi explains, racism did not cause economic justice and exploitation. Rather, economic justice and exploitation created racism in order to perpetuate. In so many words, in Virginia in the 1600s, economic elites said to second-class laborers of European descent, we are going to create a third class, and we are going to make life truly horrible for them. And what you get out of it is not being a part of that third class. I remember attending an anti-racism training here in town with the Racial Equity Institute. And there was this activity that I remember vividly. To set the scene, the makeup of the group was about 60% white, about 30% black, 10% Latina. We had all just come back from lunch and we were sitting in a big circle. And the instructors announced what we're going to do is we are going to go around the room, and each person is going to have to say something that they like about being a part of whatever racial category they are. The instructors started with the African Americans in the room, and they went around and each said something that they like about being African American. Then it was the Latinas' turn. And the African Americans and Latinas in the room answered with positive cultural generalizations. They were stereotypes, but they were sort of positive stereotypes. Then it was my turn. It was our turn. It was the turn of the white people in the room. The instructors told us, go around the room and say what it is that you like about being white. There was a tremendous silence. Most people couldn't really answer it. And then, for those who attempted to, every answer was basically about getting a pass from second or third class citizenship. One white man answered, I can go to the bank and get a loan and don't have to worry about being discriminated against. Another spoke up, I don't have to fear getting pulled over. Another said, if I wind up in court, I think I'll be treated as I ought to be treated. Around the room we went, naming privilege, but not even really privilege, naming avoidance of punishment. And I realized then that there was this straight line connecting us in that room to the creation of race in Virginia in the 1600s. That was actually the reality that was created. At the turn of the 20th century, W.E.B. Du Bois published The Souls of Black Folk. In this book, he coined the phrase, the psychological wages of whiteness. What this meant, basically, is the psychological benefit that one receives from knowing that one is not going to be treated as a third-class citizen. Du Bois' understanding of the psychological wages of whiteness is probably best understood in words from a speech by Martin Luther King. It was given in 1965 when King reached Montgomery after marching from Selma and gave a speech. And in that speech, King said, "It may be said of the Reconstruction era that the Southern aristocracy took the world and gave the poor white man Jim Crow. And when the poor white man's wrinkled stomach cried out for the food that his empty pockets could not provide, he ate Jim Crow, a psychological bird that told him no matter how bad off he was, at least he was not. And when his undernourished children cried out for the necessities that his low wages could not provide, he showed them the Jim Crow signs on the buses and in the stores, on the streets and in the public buildings, and his children too learned to feed upon Jim Crow, their last outpost of psychological oblivion. Baldwin poses a theory of the psyche, that in the psyche there is a profound fear of being seen as one is, but also an equally profound need to be seen as one is. Let me read to you from Baldwin. "It is for this reason that love is so desperately sought and so cunningly avoided. Love takes off the masks that we fear we cannot live without and know we cannot live within." Baldwin continues, "I use the word love here not merely in the personal sense, but as a state of being or a state of grace. Not in the infantile American sense of being made happy, but in the tough and universal sense of quest and daring and growth." For Baldwin, the way out was to become fully human, to fully claim our mortality and our vulnerable humanity. He writes, "Life is tragic simply because the earth turns and the sun inexorably rises and sets. And one day for each of us, the sun will go down for the last time. Perhaps the whole root of our trouble, the human trouble, is that we will sacrifice all the beauty of our lives. We'll imprison ourselves in totems and taboos and crosses and blood sacrifices and steeples and mosques and races and armies and flags and nations in order to deny the fact of death, the only fact we have. It seems to me that one ought to rejoice in the fact of death. One ought to decide, indeed, to earn one's death by confronting with passion the conundrum of life. One is responsible for life. It is the small beacon in that terrifying darkness from which we come and to which we shall return." Baldwin argues that to fully embrace life, one must give up supposing things are constant when they are not. People will cling to power or to safety or to wealth, and then that will pull us away from the truth of our lives and our interconnected lives. He says that when people cling to those things, the freedom to be fully human disappears, and what we need to be is fully human. It is not an easy path that Baldwin proposes. It is not an easy path. It has to do with unlearning, to recognizing, to being vulnerable, to being temporary, to knowing that our life will end one day, to recognizing that life is all we have, and then to respond to that with reverence for life and with the knowledge that we are all connected. It is that with that message that I conclude today. Go in peace, and amen. And let us sing our closing hymn this morning, number 34, Though I May Speak with Bravest Fire, and I invite you to rise in body or in spirit as we sing.
The words for extinguishing the chalice are in your order of service. Please join me if you wish to do so. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Let's thank all of those who contributed to making this service worshipful this morning. Please join in singing Shalom. The words are in your order of service. As you are comfortable, please either hold hands with the person next to you or cross your arms over your heart.
Shalom,